I had to make this video because it's a very important video to me. So, how's it going, everyone? It's Dom here, and I wanted to make this video for you guys. Mainly just telling you what's going on, and this is probably going to be, I'm probably going to say this multiple times on many of these, but this is probably going to be the biggest update that I ever had to make on this channel. And I really do appreciate your patience, your waits, and what's going to be going on for the future, and the new year that's coming up, and what's going to be going on in the next future here. Like what's going to be going on with Big Time Dom and the Toxic Nerfer and stuff. So I just want to tell you what I've been doing. So I've been working, and this is for real, and it's not on YouTube. It's an actual job. I go out for like a few hours and just come back home, and I'm doing pretty well in my job, and it's helping me out. It's helping me out really good, and I appreciate the people who I work with. Also, I've been sketching. I've been making pictures there, and I actually want to frame these because this is very important to me. Very important to me that I would frame these. I want to frame them like on that back area right there, because it's empty. I mean, you could see I only got like one picture. Man, the camera pointing right there. So, and I got the masks hanging up here. So, this, I have Pirates of the Caribbean pirate ships, but one I made myself, and I'll tell you what it is. But here's the pictures. I did the Black Pearl right here, and I did, and let me actually do this in order here because this is a little messed up. I did, now that one was a tricky one, but this one, the Flying Dutchman, but this is like the uncursed version of the Flying Dutchman, because if I do the cursed one, it's just going to be a mess for me because this ship is huge. And then I did the Queen Anne's Revenge right here. This is the Queen Anne's Revenge. And then I also did this ship, which is this one's a strange combination, and I will get to it because I want to get to these first. But I did, this is called Lady Death, which is the flagship of these vessels right here. So let's talk about each of these right here, because this is kind of like an interesting lesson on what I did with these here. So if you hadn't been following me on Instagram or Facebook yet, that's if you don't have social media on you. I do recommend for some of you who do to follow me there, because I do post some very interesting stuff. And nowadays I really want to post some very cool stuff, especially for my two YouTube channels that are coming up. But with the Black Pearl, I wrote stories for these, which you'll check out. I don't want to spoil them, but I did put Call of Duty Zombies. I have been doing the ruin symbols and stuff of like the elder gods in the game, pretty much. So the characters. So I've done the symbol of Invictor, which is a very interesting ruin symbol right here, and it's a very nice one. Then with the Flying Dutchman, I did Verkana the Last, which is I think it fits the theme of this ship, just the way it looks. The Queen Anne's Revenge, I don't know, I was so into Halloween because October was out, and I did this one, which was like a Martin Mystery one, a Celtic spirit who ruled a spirit world on Halloween until spring, and her name was Carlin. So I did that one, and the Carlin one is kind of interesting, and I just want to show it to you. Like, this is Carlin right here. It's kind of interesting symbol. It was tricky to even draw. So, and then Lady Death is a very interesting one because I used Cortifex the Deathless, because I really do like this ruin. I don't know, it just looks kind of nice. But yeah, this is the ship. This ship, I had to do a combination, pretty much. The combination was pretty much the Silent Mary from Dead Men Tell No Tales, and this legendary ship called the Vaza, where back in Spain, this was supposed to be the flagship upon all flagships. The main problem with that ship is the cannon ports that you see on the bottom here. These like right here, they they went too deep into the water. They were open because they were going to do a salute fire, pretty much, where they salute and the cannons fire. The problem is that the water and the weight of the ship caused the water to fill into those gun ports, and it sank. But it sank still in good condition. In fact, if you go to the museum where it is at, it is still there in good condition and rebuilt for everyone to see. They even made a replica of this. But I wanted to do that combination here because I wanted this ship to be, you know, like how they always have these types of like special, how do I put this? Like it's either it's a vessel or it's like a car or like anything else out there in the world that people make, and it's way ahead of its time. Like when you say that word, ahead of its time, that means it was way ahead of its time. Like it was a new thing, like very excessive. Like all this gray that you kind of see on the ship here that I did was basically, it was supposed to be like iron or steel, pretty much, which is like an easy protector. And that was ahead of its time because most ships only just used like wood, mostly wood. And I think the Flying Dutchman was driftwood. So kind of interesting, to say the least. And I do love these ships, you know, because they are very nice. And like I said, I want to hang these. So I've been doing that. I've also been sketching one of my favorite gameplays on Resident Evil 8 Village. Although I haven't played the game yet, I really do want to play it. And I did a little picture sketchbook here, which I could show you. It's just going to be tricky because I have so much paper. And I lost the other one. But this one I wanted to do more or less kind of like, I just like the idea of Frankenstein creations. You know, like someone playing God with like a body and then just putting it back to life and making it all insane. That's what I did with this one. Now, again, this pictures could be completely different when you first start sketching. But I did this one called Soldat Eins, which in German means one. I had to learn that on the computers and stuff. But this is Soldat Eins, and it's because the reason why he's called Eins, which means one, is because he has one drill. There's another one I want to sketch, which is named, I'm probably going to be butchering German language, but Zwein. That one had two drills. That's why it's called Zwein, because Zwein means two in German. So I definitely want to sketch these out because I just love sketching stuff, and it helps me focus. Let's be honest, it helps me focus a lot, especially when I got work and I'm busy at the house. Like, it helps me really think. So now let's talk about the channels. I want to talk about my main channel, which is, you know, we're here now, like later. Let's start with Toxic Nerfer because it's been a while since I've done a Nerf review, and I have gotten some Nerf blasters, and I'm just waiting for the right moment to actually review these. And I might review them in the near future, but I also want to do something like, since you could see, I have all my Christmas stuff up, as you could see, and I wanted to do something kind of like very, you could say excessive, but something that hasn't been done before in Nerf, if you minus the new tag backsmiths that Wacom's doing. But I'm doing it very simple by one of the songs, which is like I think 12 Days of Christmas, which is 12 days of Nerfsmas, meaning that I am going to be doing 12 days of Nerf blasters. And I think I want to make sure I get the 12 days right, because I want the 12th day to be the 25th, which is Christmas, so that it could be perfect. But I'm not going to do it this year. I want to do it next year, because I got so much stuff on my plate right now, and I'm trying to focus on my job, and it's very important to me. But I definitely will go through, like, it doesn't matter how old a Nerf blaster is, as long as it's fireable, it fires, it works, I will do a review on it. But if it doesn't work, I just can't do any review on it, because it's just gonna It's just going to go crazy on me. But I definitely will do it. And then, you know, like, I also want to do like a little list, like maybe like top 5 or top 10 things that Nerf could do in the near future for either kids or even like a young adult like myself and others, or even ones that used to play Nerf back during the day, well, of the 90s, before I was like a baby. This was before I was a baby, like the 90s, and there was the late 80s and the early 70s. You could get my point. Nerf has been around a pretty long time. It's gone through like 3 companies, Parker Brothers, Kenner, and nowadays Hasbro. So Toxic Nerfer is definitely getting a very big upgrade, but this time I really want to focus on my work here, and this goes to the same with this channel. I still want to do big time Dom videos. I still want to do mystery scenes months. I still want to do some Christmas ones, and I still want to do HorrorVision. I still have the list ready, but I still want to make minor adjustments to that list. Maybe put something different on here that could replace what I have on, because I have like TV shows to movies on here. So that I'm working on. And then like, this is where I kind of really, you could say this is where the downfall could happen. But I'd rather not say it's a downfall, because this is not me saying like, oh, I'm getting over the whole YouTube thing. Like, YouTube's taking me over. I'm going to stop, you know, doing stuff that is clearly what they want me to not do on YouTube. And it's like, I don't take any of their stuff, you know. Here's the thing. If there's anything that's against the YouTube standards that is not going to take down my channel, it's fine with me. If I don't get money from this platform, good. I have a job. It doesn't matter. So I could clearly care less. I think YouTube can give me less money compared to what this job is offering me. And this job, it's very, very, very simple that I'm doing. So I don't care what YouTube thinks. In fact, I don't care what the CEO thinks. I don't care that you used to be like a partner with Google and stuff. I could care less. I could care less. But I will say that now that I have a younger audience, generally, like on my platform, looking at my platform, and generally it's mostly like, you know, nowadays they look at crazy TikToks, they look at the Paul brothers, Jake and Logan. They look at other ridiculous things, and yes, they do look at the worst YouTuber of all time, Nikocado Avocado. But I generally think that even if I want to make my audience feel a little bit more, not like myself, because myself is very different from yourself, if you kind of understand me. I'm way different than how you are. Maybe you kind of like, I don't know, like, kind of like the spray here, this Airwick that I have right here lying around. I'm starting to like lavender, but my favorite is always fresh linen, which is like I think it's like a fabric, but it smells good. But you might like a different smell, you know? We have differences, which makes us unique people. And unique is not a bad thing. So, and generally speaking, I am gonna try my best. As a matter of fact, and not just try, but do less swearing on my channel here. But I still will consider to get an occasional F-bomb or B-bomb, or no C's, because literally I do not want to do a C. But, you know, general F or B's, and, the occasional S, but not as much, you know. I am not going full-blown PG just because YouTube says they're gonna go that route. Because at this time, it's a bad thing to do on this platform here. Generally, for me, when it's something to do with your kids watching a platform that has way more adults than there is children, you have to ask YouTube, wasn't it a good idea to actually have YouTube Kids? Because YouTube Kids, I think, would be better for your child than it would be on the main platform here. Because they never really tried with YouTube Kids at this point. They never really did. So it's kind of a disappointment. YouTube is getting more disappointing every single time I look at it. So, but I'm mostly doing this because I do have a younger audience. And, sometimes a younger audience has to not really swear. And, I know there are very good boys and children out there that don't want to say a single word that I usually say. Some people probably say to me, big time, Dom, language. And it's right. I gotta watch my language. There are times I have to watch my language. And my mom did this one thing. She told me she read the dictionary, which occasionally, yes, many people have looked at the dictionary, but she read through the pages. Like, I think she says she didn't read it constantly, which is kind of like reasonable because it's a dictionary. It's not like a story. But occasionally, this is how she found out she made better words instead of just dropping bigger F-bombs or saying, yo, what's up? Like, she occasionally had a good hello, you know, and many other words that could help you out in the near future. So I have like maybe 3 or 4 dictionaries in my closet that I actually might take a look at someday, and I might find a word or two later on. And it's one thing I really, really, really want to do, because this is a big thing for me, because I really want to start changing it up a bit, you know? Like I said, I will do my occasional F-bombs and stuff, but not as much as you think. You could say I'm going soft anytime you want, but you have to think it's not because I'm doing this because YouTube says so. I'm doing this because there is a younger audience here. And, you know, I have a brother that is 9, so I have to not drop anymore. But there are times I will, just on occasion, and here's the thing. If I'm going to be viewing a movie that's going to drop these types of languages, you guarantee I will probably drop these languages, but not as much as you think. So I generally really want to start fresh with this channel here. And I want to start really fresh and new. Because right now, I mean, I can't even get a picture title card up. It literally just has a B in it. Because the first letter they ever picked out of the YouTube channel is a B. Which is really dumb, by the way. Especially the color is pink. It's one of my least favorite colors of all time. I really don't like the color pink. Like, I mean, this room may look pink, but it's actually the red. It's actually red. So, yeah. I never really put this up. Oh, there we go. There we go. I never really had this red here, but I think it makes it more red in here. I think I look like I'm in like a sunroom, or like, you know, a sun lamp on the top is burning on me, but I'm not burning up, which is good because it's 40 degrees out. So, but that's the updates. Yeah, that's the updates for Toxic Nerfer and Big Time Dom. Bigger updates that I could possibly give out, because I generally think my channel, while it is growing in subscribers very good, and, you know, I'm having great comments, I generally think I should literally start doing my best in giving you content that at least will not fit, you know, definitely will not fit YouTube's any standards. Like, I could care less what they think, you know, them trying to target towards a younger audience is already bad enough. I can understand why something like WWE is doing, you know, targeting towards that younger audience. I could kind of understand that. But when you're talking about little kids, you know, like, I was a little kid. I was like, kind of like if you're listening, I was your age, and I watched something like The Monster Squad, which had classic monsters from a brand called Universal, who used to make these monsters back during the 30s and the 40s. And I generally loved it. It was great, but it occasionally, for me, I did say it was family friendly. It isn't, but for me it is, because I watched it with my dad, I watched it with my brothers, I watched it with my sister. I generally loved the scenes in there. Like that Wolfman was the best Wolfman I've ever seen. Like, I'm not kidding when I say that. And then I watched something like The Goonies, where it's just a couple of like kids, mainly like older kids, along with younger kids, going on crazy adventures, finding a pirate ship full of gold that was, you know, trapped in a cave, and then they had to battle some criminals called the Fratellis. It has a lot of cursing, swearing, and, you know, the occasional gun and sword right there, but it was harmless. But it was a fun movie for me, and the ending was the best ending I've ever seen in my life, where an old ship, and I mean a ship that hasn't sailed in decades, possibly a century, starts moving, and all the skeletons are on board. It's a great movie. And I watched those since I was little. Yet nowadays we kind of have this big problem. It's like we're going back. I think we're going back to the 1980s, where in the 1980s they always targeted towards a younger. Like when it comes to a younger audience, it's like violence is never going to be shown in these movies. Yet you had Transformers, G.I. Joe, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which broke that boundary. So yeah, it was odd. I think like when you target anything towards a younger audience, you know it's not going to go too well because nobody's going to try their hardest to make it towards not only a younger audience, but at least make it fun and memorable for that younger audience so that when they get older, they say, I remember this show. So I occasionally think like I'm not going to go that route because I know I have adults watching my channels anyhow. So, but I generally, if you have a family and you think, you know, I should lay off the swearing a little bit, I will. You know, all you had to do was ask. I'm not a shy guy, but at least I don't like it when you're mean, you know? Like, I'm not a mean person, you know? I generally don't want to be that mean person. And, you know, I'm here to tell, like, jokes. I may be here to just put my biased opinion on, like, a certain thing that I don't like or something that I do like. So, and if you don't like it, it's a simple thing. Click off the video, watch something else you like, you know? And, you know, you'll get a kick out of it, you know? And I generally really do appreciate all the videos that I've done. And I really do appreciate everything that these people have done for me. From my family to my friends to even the co-workers that I'm working with right now. I really do appreciate you all. And even all my subscribers. It's just wonderful to see how much this channel has grown. It's not as grown as much as like other YouTubers have, but it's growing. And I really do think like I really want to stay on this platform until it bites the dust, like another platform beats it out. Because I know YouTube is going to go that route. It's going to be like every other platform on there. It's going to go away because I know someone is going to do better, but it's going to take time. And time, I think, is what we're going to need. So I'm going to end off in saying Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. I hope you all enjoy, you know, a family feast, opening the presents, having time with friends and family, and enjoying the holidays. I hope 2023 is going to be very fair to us. I know 2022 was a very rough ride. It has been a rough ride for myself, but 2022 has been bringing in the new year for us. Now that we're bringing in the new year soon, I just want to say that because it's a very best thing I could say because it's generally been a very rough ride. 2022 has its mixed opinions, but it's better than last year and even in 2020 when this whole pandemic started. So we're going to go strong and we're going to get through this, all of us together. But this time we could not bicker, we could not argue because it's not going to solve any problems. As long as we work together as a team, or at least as a team as we can solve the problems that we're having today on our, you know, things between like raising prices for like gas, food, and other sorts of means, to, you know, other problems like natural disasters to war. We could do this together. We could do what we can for the people out there because I really do appreciate everything. I just really want this world to at least be a better place. It's not perfect. We're not all perfect. Nobody is. I ain't perfect. You're not perfect. Everybody else is not perfect. Even somebody who's called Mr. Perfect is not perfect. So I generally really think we can do this together. And that's coming from the heart for me. That's coming from a very big heart. And I'm holding back my tears, so because I really do mean it. So have a happy new year. Have a nice night. And yeah, I'll see you next year. And the time I'm coming back is the time I start bringing back HorrorVision. I'll see you in 2023. Bye.